That'll do. Let's go ahead and talk about this game a bit.
Well, what to say about Pilotwings?
I'll allow you to go first because I have to change the stream title real quick. Go ahead and say your thoughts first.
Yeah, that was interesting. Definitely, the handling is very dated in that
Yes.
sense. It was the actual gameplay, to be fair, is not what I expected. I didn't know it was a points-based
Mm-hmm.
system where you go up through the levels. I mean, I guess I know very little about Pilotwings before we just played it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, the handling was difficult. The skydive, like the instructions are very vague in how you handle it, which was a bit of a that's the difficult bit, trying to get a knack for how you handle yourself either skydiving or with the plane. Um, but yeah, I could actually that wasn't the worst game ever. I don't think it's. I mean, yeah, visually, obviously, you can tell it's an oldie. But it was apart from the handling, I could say that I think the actual gameplay was all right. With the point system and yeah, passive aggressive Karen on the other line,
Karen.
she can maybe be tweaked a little bit, but apart from that, it wasn't too bad. Not too bad an experience.
I agree. I agree. So my thoughts are rather similar, to be honest. Marissa's on here. She says, "My boys." Oh, Marissa, thanks for
Oh,
coming.
hi Marissa.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I am in agreement with pretty much what you had said. By the way, Marissa, thank you so much for providing me the logo, which I can now place on the stream so people can see it while we discuss our thoughts. Thank you so much. But
This
anyway,
t-shirt
yes,
is also sponsored by Marissa. Hello.
yes, indeed. So yes, to talk about Pilot Wings a bit. Yeah, I agree with most of what you said. The control, the handling of the plane itself is quite dated. Like I made the comparison to Pilot Wings Resort, which I wouldn't say Pilot Wings Resort is an easy game, but it certainly handles a lot better than its Super Nintendo original. Like
Mhm.
it's you do have the controls there, so it does tell you how to like fly the plane, and but like it's still it pretty much asks you to run before you can really walk in that sense, and you'll crash a lot, I assume, to figure out how it goes. Marissa says, "Yes, I saw the shirt."
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, but as dated as it is, both visually and the way it controls, I felt I felt every time I failed to land properly or fly properly, I felt this urge to want to get better. I felt this urge to like want to just improve. Like I think the scoring system is actually to this game's benefit because you're not going to do well on your first try. I don't think that's what it really was intending for you to. In that sense, if it's meant to like really certify you to like fly a plane, I suppose it's doing its job properly because I can't imagine flying a plane in real life is going to be that simple for anyone in the very beginning. Obviously
No.
streamlined because you don't have to deal with the instrumentation of the panels. You got a few simple buttons to like fly the plane. So I'm sure in that
And
regard it's a
also
lot easier. Mm.
yeah, and don't forget that you can't let your wings touch the floor even. So if
Oh
you were to do
yes.
that as a real pilot, then
our,
you'd be no go.
our very I can't even blame the Karen as we're calling her in that sense because it was a very snide remark, but I also very much suck when it comes to landing the damn light plane. So maybe she wasn't completely off base for giving me the snide remark there. I don't think there's too much else we can really say about Pilot Wings if I'm being perfectly honest. Like I said,
No.
it's a very good showcase for the Super Nintendo's graphics and gameplay. Because the fact that you could even do a game like this on a system like this is impressive in and of itself. That
Mm.
being said, while I think this is a very important game for the Super Nintendo history that I think you should play if you're into Nintendo history in particular, I don't. As much as I would come back to this game, as much as I would come back to it because I do want to get better at this game, I don't know if it holds up that well. If I'm being perfectly honest, because I just feel like there's better games on the Super Nintendo for your time, and again, other Pilot Wings games are just so much better. Like again, importance, it's very high up there, but as far as whether it holds up, I don't think it does. It's a very uncommon game for this show. A game that I do want to play more, but don't think it holds up. That doesn't
Yeah,
happen. That doesn't really
but
happen often. You know, usually if a game doesn't hold up, I have no desire to play it again. This is one game I do want to play again, but no, I don't think it does hold up.
it's that dastardly point system. That is a benefit, like you said, because it does make you want. You're like, oh, I've just like 10 points off. Let me try one more time, and then 20 times later, you're still trying again.
Oh
It is
yeah,
definitely got that feel for it. But yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm not sure.
yeah.
Depends what we're judging on the holding up. But yeah, I would agree with you in
Yeah.
that sense.
I suppose it
It's
does.
also
Like,
very like the gameplay in itself is very well, again, archaic a bit in that sense. It's
yeah,
from like an era that we just don't have that sort of game anymore. Everything's progressed so far. I couldn't even see. I don't know if I could see. I know 3DS version isn't that old, but
yeah.
it
Oh,
would need obviously a
you
lot
say
of
that.
licks of paint.
You say that, but the Pilot Resort came out a decade ago now.
Oh God, yeah. I
Which
guess
is
yeah,
crazy to think
3DS
about. Which is crazy to
2006.
think about because the
Wait,
3DS feels like just yesterday. But this was a
yeah.
launch 3DS game, and the 3DS came out in 2011. It's 2021 now, so it's been
Oh my
10
God,
years. Yeah.
yeah. You know what I just did? I just thought I just went to in my head. I went 2006 for some reason. I went 2006, and I was like, that wasn't even 10 years ago. God,
Yeah.
yeah.
Time,
God,
time,
that's
time is a mysterious beast, and it's also a cruel
two.
beast.
Mm,
Oh no, Marissa said stop
okay.
making us feel old. I'm sorry. I also did that. It also hurt me. Yeah, I know. When Pilotwings Resort came out, I remember playing that after my days in college. That was a minute ago. Oh,
Mm.
but
I
yeah,
know.
that
Anytime
like
you
you
think
said.
of 10 years old, you think it's like really long, but then you think back and you're like, oh, actually, I remember that like it was yesterday, but it was 10 years old.
Yeah, that's how it is now.
It's
Oh my
crazy.
goodness, it really is. But yeah, I guess final thoughts, like you said, that dastardly point system, I think both makes the game replayable, but it also makes it dastardly. Yeah, it really encourages you to keep playing. But like, yeah, I would love if they made the means to play the Pilot Wing 64 game because I'm very curious to try that one out now because now I've played two
Mm.
out of the three Pilot Wings games and I'd like to see how the one that no one played holds up now. Here's
You've got to complete the set.
I do like I have to say I played the whole trilogy just to like get that understanding Nintendo's history and showing off the games. But again, this series has always come out like right when the console launch. If a console launches and a Pilot Wings game doesn't come out, it's probably not going to have one. Switch, missed its chance. I think maybe Nintendo's next system will feel they need a Pilot Wings games to show it off in that regard. But Pilot Wings games aren't, I'm sorry. Nintendo systems these days aren't really focused on like showing off graphical things. So something that Nintendo
Mm.
doesn't feel to they probably don't feel the need to do it anymore. I think Resort came back for the 3DS because they really just wanted to show off the 3D visuals and mission accomplished.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful looking game on 3DS. Yeah.
The
If you
first game I ever played. Ugh. Sorry, that was lucky I caught it. I was just gonna say the first game I ever played, and I remember with the 3D visuals, was Street Fighter 4. And I
Oh,
remember
that's a good one too.
sitting there thinking, "Oh my God, you can just toggle this switch and it goes 3D."
Street
It was
Fighter 4 looked
amazing when you first
incredible
saw
in
it.
3D. It wasn't the best way to
Yeah.
play, like if you're like playing competitive against it, because it just dropped the frame rate. But it looks so
Mm.
beautiful. Otherwise, those
It
launch
was
3DS games
impressive.
and 3D Land as well were great technical showcases for what 3D could do. Even Ocarina of Time
Mm.
3D looked incredible as well. It's a, it's a,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
it
a,
did.
it's a bit of a shame that later 3DS games kind of made the 3D less important, but it is what it is. It wasn't for everyone. But yeah, that's our thought on Pilot Wings. Again, like I said, in terms of what you're looking for in a game, but you may still enjoy this. Like I know I kind of enjoyed it, even though I was having trouble controlling it. But I don't think it really holds up. But that's just my thoughts. But anyways, we'll be moving on to the next game in our series, which is